Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see Unit 3 Magnetism and Magnetic Effects of Electric Current. In that, solutions to book back MCQs. First one we have the magnetic field at the center O of the following current loop is asked. The solution is consider a small element dl on the current carrying loop. By Biot-Savart's law, we have dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square. Here, angle between the current element and the distance r from the center point O is to be 90 degree. So, we write theta is equal to 90 degree. So, we put that instead of sin theta, sin 90. So, we have since sin 90 is equal to 1, dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl divided by r square. Now, we have to find the magnetic field at O due to the semicircular loop. dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl divided by r square. We integrate this on both sides. So, integration over that semicircular loop. Now, we take the constant terms outside, that is mu naught divided by 4 pi into I divided by r square and integration over the semicircular path in dl. Suppose we consider a circular loop here and a small element dl, and if we want to find integration of dl over this path, all the elements together, we can find integration of dl. That is, suppose this is having the radius to be r, then we can write the circumference of the circle, it is 2 pi r. As here it is a semicircular path and this point O, semicircular path, we are choosing a small element here at this portion. About the semicircular path, integration over the semicircular path, that dl is equal to circumference of that semicircle, it is pi r. Now we shall write integration of dB is b is equal to, it is mu naught divided by 4 pi into I by r square, and integration of dl over a semicircular path is pi r. Therefore, we have here pi and pi cancel, r and r cancel. Remaining we may have b is equal to mu naught I by 4r. In the options we have two options to be same, mu naught I by 4r, and here to mu naught I by 4r we have. But we have to see the direction of that magnetic field. According to that right hand thumb rule, if we curl the fingers of right hand in the direction of the current in the loop, then the stretched thumb gives the direction of that magnetic moment associated with the loop. And we see that it is the direction, inward direction. So, we have the option A to be the correct one. Next question. An electron moves straight inside a charged parallel plate capacitor of uniform charge density sigma. The time taken by that electron to cross the parallel plate capacitor when the plates of the capacitor are kept under the constant magnetic field of induction B is asked. So, this is a charged parallel plate capacitor of charge density sigma, and let L be that total length of the capacitor. An electron moves straight inside the charged parallel plate capacitor, and this is also subjected to uniform magnetic field of induction B. So, this is a north pole and south pole. So this is a uniform magnetic field kept here, there. The time taken by the electron to cross the parallel plate capacitor is asked. The relation between this length, that is a distance in which that electron is moving, and the time taken is velocity is equal to that distance by time taken. So we can write V is equal to that L divided by T. Therefore, T is equal to L by V. Now the electron moves in a straight path when it is subjected to both the electric field and the magnetic field. Under the balanced condition, it is moving in a straight line. The force due to magnetic field F is equal to BQV. The force due to electric field F is equal to EQ. Under balanced condition, we can equate both the forces. So we have BQV is equal to EQ. Therefore, we have V is equal to E by B. Now we have to note down the electric field due to two parallel plate capacitors of charge density sigma. Is that E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. This way write to be that fourth expression, and this is to be fifth one. We now substitute this expression for electric field in this expression. Therefore, we have V is equal to sigma by epsilon naught B. Here we need to find what is the time taken. This T is equal to L by V we have. So we need here 1 by V. So we have V is equal to sigma by epsilon naught B. Therefore, 1 by V is equal to epsilon naught B divided by sigma. Therefore, this T could be written as L into this epsilon naught B divided by sigma. So we have the time taken by the electron to cross the parallel plate capacitor is T is equal to epsilon naught LB divided by sigma. Therefore, we have option D to be the correct one. Next one, the force experienced by a particle having a mass m and charge q accelerated through a potential difference V when it is kept under perpendicular magnetic field is asked. The solution is the force experienced by the particle when it is kept in a magnetic field is F is equal to Q into V cross B. Otherwise, we can write that to be F is equal to BQV. We need to find what is this velocity we need to find. The kinetic energy of the particle having mass m and the charge q is E is equal to half mv square. The particle having a mass m and charge q is now accelerated through a potential difference V. So the work done we can write that to be W is equal to QV. So this W, it is that energy now. Let me write this to be the third equation. Now we are going to equate both the energies. 2 is equal to 3. So we have half mv square is equal to qv, where v is a velocity and capital V is a potential. And hence v square is equal to, it is 2qv divided by m. So that we can write v is equal to square root of 2qv divided by m. Actually, we need to find what is the force due to magnetic field. We have F is equal to B QV, which will be equal to BQ, and we substitute the value of this V here, which will be square root of 2QV divided by M. Now we wish to bring this BQ inside the square root, which is now square root of 2QV. If I bring it inside the square root, it is B square Q square divided by M. Thus the force due to magnetic field F is equal to, it is square root of 2Q cube into V B square divided by M. So we have option C to be the correct one. The force experienced by the particle when it is kept under the magnetic field is square root of 2Q cube B square V divided by M. Next question. A circular coil of radius 5 cm and 50 turns carries a current of 3 ampere. The magnetic dipole moment of the coil is asked. Solution is, the radius of the circular coil R is equal to 5 cm, which is equal to 5 into 10 power of minus 2 meter. Number of turns N is equal to 50. And the current I is equal to 3 ampere. The magnetic dipole moment of the coil is asked. So we write here PM is equal to question mark. The magnetic dipole moment PM is equal to the product of the current and area of the loop. Here in the question, area is not given but radius is given there. It is about the circular coil, so that we can take the area of the circular coil, it is pi r square. So we have the magnetic moment PM is equal to I pi r square, and the number of turn is given, so we shall write that to be N here. Therefore, the magnetic dipole moment PM is equal to I, it is 3 ampere into pi 3.14 into radius 5 into 10 power of minus 2 the whole square, and number of turns is 50. We may have this to be 11775 into 10 power of minus 4, which will be equal to 1.1775. Unit of current is ampere and unit of this area is meter square. So we round off this and write to be 1.2 ampere meter square. The magnetic dipole moment of the coil is 1.2 ampere meter square. Option B is the correct one. Next one, a thin insulated wire forms a plane spiral of N is equal to 100 tight turns, carrying a current I is equal to 8 milliampere. The radii of inside and outside turns are A is equal to 50 millimeter and B is equal to 100 millimeter respectively. The magnetic induction at the center of the spiral is to be found. The solution is given N is equal to 100 turns and the current I is equal to 8 milliampere. The radii inside and outside. So inside radii Ri we can write that to be, or A is equal to, it is 50 millimeter, and RB is equal to, we write that to be 100 millimeter. Magnetic induction at the center of the spiral B is equal to question mark. Formula: the magnetic induction at the center of the spiral is B is equal to mu naught I divided by 2R. Here number of turn is given, so we can multiply it by n. So B is equal to mu naught I n divided by 2R. Here mu naught is the permeability constant and its value is 4 pi into 10 power of minus 7 Henry per meter. And here the radius need to be found. Inner radius and outer radius are given. So we have to take the average of these two radius. So we can write R is equal to radius of inside turn plus radius of outside turn divided by 2. And which will be equal to, it is 50 plus 100 divided by 2. Therefore, we have R is equal to 150 divided by 2, which is equal to 75 millimeter. 75 into 10 power of minus 3 meter. This is that radius. Therefore, the magnetic induction at the center of the spiral is B is equal to, we substitute the known values, mu naught, it is 4 pi into 10 power of minus 7. I value is 8 milliampere. Milli, we write that to be into 10 power of minus 3 ampere. And N value is 100 into 8 into 10 power of minus 3 and N value to be 100 divided by 2 into 75 into 10 power of minus 3. 10 power of minus 3, 10 power of minus 3 will be getting cancelled. Remaining we have 10048 divided by 150 into 10 power of minus 7. And hence B is equal to 66.98 into 10 power of minus 7. We have the options in terms of micro Tesla. Therefore, we have B is equal to 66.98 into 10 power of minus 6 into 10 power of minus 1. This 1 goes to denominator and hence B is equal to 6.698 into 10 power of minus 6 Tesla. And therefore, we write the magnetic induction at the center of the spiral B is equal to, we round off it and write 7 micro Tesla. Option B is the correct one, 7 micro Tesla. Next one, 3 wires of equal lengths are bent in the form of loops. One of the loops is circle, another is semicircle, and the third one is square. They are placed in a uniform magnetic field and same electric current is passed through them. Which of the following loop configuration will experience greater torque? The solution is the torque on a current loop placed in a magnetic field is tau is equal to BIA. Here, 3 wires of equal lengths is bent into a circle and a semicircle and a square. As the area increases, the torque also increases. Here the question is asked, which of the following loop configuration will experience greater torque? When we talk about a circle, a semicircle and a square, the circular loop has a greater area than the other two. So, the circular loop will experience greater torque in magnetic field because the torque has the direct dependence on the area of the loop. So, we can say that which of the following loop configuration will experience greater torque? The circle will be experiencing the greater torque as its area is more. Next one, 2 identical coils each with n turns and radius r are placed coaxially at a distance r as shown in the diagram. If I is the current passing through the loops in the same direction, then the magnetic field at the point P, which is at exactly r by 2 distance between the two coils, is to be found. So we have two coils with n number of turns and the radius r, this is a radius r, are placed coaxially at the distance r. From here to this point, the distance is to be r. If I is the current passing through that loops in the same direction, then the magnetic field at the point P, which is at exactly r by 2 distance between the coil, is to be found. So B, magnetic field, is to be found. So from this point to this point it is r distance, means then from here this is r by 2, and from this point to this point this is r by 2 distance. From here to here and then from here to here it is r by 2 distance. The solution is magnetic field produced along the axis of the current carrying circular coil is B is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 into r square divided by r square plus z square, the whole power of 3 by 2. Here in this diagram, we have the distance between the point O and the point P. That distance is z. But in this diagram to the question, we have the distance between the center and to the point P, it is r by 2. Therefore, we have B is equal to mu naught I by 2 into r square divided by r square plus r by 2, the whole square, 3 by 2, like this. And if there are n number of turns, we could write B is equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 into r square divided by r square plus r by 2, the whole square, the whole power of 3 by 2. So the total magnetic field at a point P, which is exactly at r by 2 distance between the two coils, is B is equal to, since two coils are there, so twice that of those value. Therefore, we have B is equal to 2 into this mu naught N I divided by 2 into this r square divided by r square plus r square by 4, the whole power of 3 by 2. This 2 and this 2 will be getting cancelled. We take the LCM. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught Ni r square divided by 5 r square by 4, the whole power of 3 by 2. Now we have mu naught Ni r square divided by, we can write 5 power of 3 by 2 into r square, the whole power of 3 by 2 divided by 4 power of 3 by 2. Here r square and this 2 will be getting cancelled. So remaining we have B is equal to mu naught N I r square divided by 5 power of 3 by 2 into r cube divided by 4 power of 3 by 2. So this r square and this here on r square will be getting cancelled. So we have now B is equal to mu naught I divided by 5 power 3 by 2 by 4 power 3 by 2 into r. We shall take this 4 power 3 by 2 to the numerator. This will be equal to mu naught Ni divided by 5 power of 3 by 2 into r. Here if I take this, this is 4 power of 3 by 2. Now B is equal to mu naught Ni 4 power of 3 by 2. We shall write that to be 4 into 4 power of 1 by 2. So it is 4 root 4 we can write. So this is 4 root 4 divided by, let me keep this as such, because in the option we have this 5 root 5 the power of 3 by 2. So 5 power of 3 by 2 into r. B is equal to mu naught ni 4 into root 4 is 2 divided by 5 to the power of 3 by 2 into r. That will be equal to 8 mu naught ni divided by 5 to the power of 3 by 2 into r. So we have option B to be the correct one. 8n mu naught I divided by 5 to the power of 3 by 2 into r. Next one. A wire of length L carries a current I along y direction, and the magnetic field is given by B vector is equal to beta by root 3 into I cap plus j cap plus k cap Tesla. The magnitude of Lorentz force acting on the wire is dash. The solution is given the wire of length L carries current IE along the y direction. The force on a current carrying wire F is equal to IL cross B. As the wire carries current along the y direction, we can write F vector is equal to I L j cap cross B vector. The value of B vector is given to be beta by root 3 into I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Therefore, F vector is equal to IL j cap cross beta by root 3 into I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Now we can take this I L beta by root 3 outside the bracket and the remaining terms inside. It is j cap cross I cap plus j cap plus k cap, which will be equal to I L beta divided by root 3 into j cap cross I cap plus j cap cross j cap plus j cap cross k cap. We need to find here what is j cross I, j cross j and j cross k. Here we write I j k. I cross j is k cap. Since here we need to find j cross I, it is minus k cap plus j cross j is 0 plus j cross k, it is I cap. So this is I cap here. Therefore we have F vector is equal to IL beta divided by root 3 into I cap minus k cap. We are supposed to find the magnitude of Lorentz force acting on the wire. Therefore, we can write F vector is equal to, it is I L beta by root 3 into modulus of I cap minus k cap. Modulus of I cap minus k cap is equal to, it is square root of 1 square plus 1 square, which is equal to root 2. Thus, F vector is equal to IL beta divided by root 3 into root 2. So, F vector is equal to square root of 2 divided by 3 into IL beta. So, the magnitude of Lorentz force acting on the wire is option A, square root of 2 by 3 into beta IL. Next one, a bar magnet of length L and magnetic moment M is bent in the form of an arc as shown in the diagram. The new magnetic dipole moment will be. The solution is, let us consider a bar magnet. This is North Pole and South Pole, and it is assumed to have a length to be L. Its pole strength be M. Therefore, the magnetic moment M is equal to, it is a product of the pole strength and the length of the magnet. Now, when the bar magnet is bent in the form of an arc, this is North Pole and this is South Pole, having length to be L and making an angle theta, we need to find what is that new magnetic dipole moment. From the diagram we have angular displacement theta is equal to arc length divided by radius. In the question, this theta value is given to be 60 degree. Hence we put here the 60 degree is equal to L by R. We can write this 60 degree which to be 180 degree by 3, that is pi by 3. Thus, here instead of 60 degree, it is pi by 3 is equal to L by R. This we write to be the first expression. When the magnet is bent in the form of an arc, we can write the new magnetic moment to be M dash is equal to, here the pole strength remains same and it is M, and the length of the magnet, it is the shortest distance between the two poles of the magnet. Let us assume that distance to be L dash. So, the new magnetic moment is the product of the pole strength and distance between that poles of the magnet. Now we bisect here. So, the angle formed here will be theta by 2 and here theta by 2. The length will be now, this is L dash by 2 and this side it is L dash by 2. Now we take this portion of the triangle. From this right angle triangle, we have sine theta by 2 is equal to opposite L dash by 2 divided by hypotenuse, it is R. So we have R sine theta by 2 is equal to L dash by 2. We write it here. This is R sine theta value is 60 degree. So it is 60 by 2 is equal to L dash by 2. It is R sine 30 degree is equal to L dash by 2. R sine 30 value is 1 by 2. So we write here into 1 by 2 is equal to L dash by 2. So this 2 will be getting cancelled. We'll be having R is equal to L dash. We write this expression to be second one. As we need to find this M dash is equal to M into L dash, let me write this to be now, this to be the third one. So new magnetic moment M dash is equal to M into L dash. Now we substitute here the second in this term. So here M dash is equal to M into R we have. From this first expression we can find what is at R. So we have from this R is equal to 3L divided by pi. So we can substitute this expression here. You can write here, since R is equal to 3L by pi, we have M dash is equal to M into, it is 3L divided by pi. Initially, we were saying the magnetic moment of a bar magnet is equal to the product of the pole strength and the length of the magnet. So we can write that this product of the pole strength and length of the magnet, that to be M. Therefore, we have this M dash is equal to, it is M3 divided by pi. We have option B to be the correct one, 3M divided by pi. Thank you.